Today we're going to be using this color. So this is the new OPI Infinite Shine that apparently is a pre-cured gel, which I don't understand how that works. But by the way, you can tell if this is a new version or old version by the letters. So the new version has black letters if you're interested. This is Malaga wine, and this is what we're going to do. So I'm just going to shape the nails a little bit. I'm going to leave this nail a little bit longer because once the polish is on the nails, they're going to look more even, because the nail bed on this one is a little bit longer and on this one it's a little bit shorter, so that sometimes can be done. It's really personal preference. I'm just going to gently knot the skin fold and then remove the cuticle. When I do this, I also feel for the surface to see if there is a cuticle, how much cuticle there is. There's not a lot at all. So this is going to be done very gently. And the reason why I think it's so important to know the difference between the skin fold and the cuticle is because very often, in case of this client too, so she, when she does her own manicure, she cuts the skin fold. I mean, some people do, some people don't. No judgment here. But when you think that the skin fold is a cuticle, then you sometimes might leave the cuticle behind because you cut the skin fold, not the cuticle. And then when you're polishing your nails, the polish is not going to stick very well to that cuticle and you might get peeling. So it's just good to know that there are two skins around the nails. One is the cuticle, which I'm removing, is just dead skin cells, and one is the skin fold. Just gonna use a buffer block on the free edge just to smooth it. And I really don't want to buff the surface. I don't think it's necessary. Buffing surface, and I talk about it quite a bit, it helps the adhesion. It's just like when you're applying a paint on the wall, when you buff it, it's going to stick better. But the problem is that we only have so many layers of our nails, and the top layer of the nail prevents the nail, it's like protecting layer, prevents the nails from breaking and tearing. And if we remove that layer when we are buffing, that causes more issues, right? Because then the polish doesn't stick very well and the nails are starting to peel and break. So, pros and cons to everything. When I do buff, usually I buff around just where the cuticle was, just to make sure that the area is nice and smooth. Because sometimes if there are little catches or pieces of skin, the polish does not go on very even, it like flows into that area. So that's the new base coat. It looks different as well. The other one was in a transparent bottle. So I'm very curious how long this is going to last. It really depends, when it comes to wear of the nail polish, it really depends on the surface you're applying it. So these nails, I would say, are quite normal. They're not super hard and very thick or anything, and they're not damaged, and they're not very thin either. So this is kind of like a normal nail situation. See how they look. They look pretty dry. I can see the texture of the nails. I have to say, I'm not a huge fan of these shiny lids because they're super slippery. They look good, but when they're new, but that's about it. I way prefer the original black lids or tops. So I usually don't use the OPI polishes, so I'm not used to their brushes. You have to get the feel for the brushes. So the first coat I'm applying quite thin. That way I have a better control. Over the polish. in the meantime, I'm going to clean up the edges. So I do that with pure acetone and a brush. Okay, so it's been 4 minutes now. So this is a perfect time to kind of clean up the edges to give the nail polish a few minutes to dry. So let's do the top coat. I'm just going to put these drying drops, but only on the skin around the nails, because apparently I'm not sure about this version of OPI Infinite Shine, but the other one, they were not recommending the drying drops to be used. Okay, I'm very curious how long this is going to last. I'll definitely let you guys know. Let me know what you think.